Hey guys, welcome back to Super Jeremy World. And today I'm always excited to talk to you guys. But today's topic is not one that I find very exciting. Well, I am going to talk about Amico, which is really exciting to me. And you guys know I ordered the Founders Edition, and I put out that video last week about 5 reasons I really feel like Amico is going to succeed. But there are some concerns, worries that I have about Amico, and I thought I'd put some of those out there and just kind of see what are your thoughts on them. Because as much as I'm excited for it, I do worry about it, and until we have some of these questions answered that are going to be hopefully done through press releases and things throughout the summer that Tommy's been alluding to. There are going to continue to be some, lagging, concerns in my mind, and so I thought I'd put them out there for you, okay? So, number one, I'm afraid that people are just not going to get it. They're not going to understand what it's supposed to be. It's a new console, and but it's not the current generation. It's not going to be another Xbox or PlayStation. It's not even another Switch. So where does it fit? And that's what I'm curious if folks are gonna get what it is, because it's also not a flashback. And it'd be really easy to group it in with flashbacks or to lump it in with other more recent things like the Ouya or the VCS, and it's not those either. So it's real easy to lose sight of what's it intended to do, what's it supposed to be like. Even on GameStop's website, you can't find it unless you go under the retro section, which, yes, it's 20% of the titles are going to be retro reimagined. Yes, it has the Intellivision name attached to it, but is it a retro console? Partly. But that's the tricky part. If it does get kind of pigeonholed and nailed as just a retro console, I think it was Tommy talking with Intellivision dude in his interview, and Robert asked him, hey, why don't you just make the Intellivision 3? There were like prototype images that are still out on the internet, and it kind of looked like a kind of a cool VCR, kind of thing. And Tommy said, well, if we did that, we'd just sell 3,000 units. And that's a worry. We do have this hardcore group. We bought the Founders Editions, we bought the VIP Editions, and if it gets pigeonholed into it's a retro console, I worry for it there. Okay, so that's number one. And I worry just people won't really get it, that it's intended to be for family, casual gamers who want to play together, kind of in the spirit of the Nintendo Wii. If they don't get that, it's not going to come off the shelves. Number two, my second concern is that developers won't support it, at least not enough, or not enough big ones. Again, this one is something that could be relieved by future announcements, but to this point we haven't had very many announcements of specific developers. And although I will say, Tommy's been very open about, how supportive they are of developers, how many internal resources are given, the fact that they pay developers up front to do work on games. But what I'm really looking for is, what are those big third-party developers that are going to come into the system and really show like, hey, this is something that's legit, this is serious, and we're supporting this, we're developing games, XYZ games for it. That type of announcement is one I'm still waiting for, and I hope that it comes soon, because again, that would really help address that concern of mine, is what third-party developers are out there saying, yes, we're going to make games for this system. Number three, I'm afraid that this is an interesting year to come out. That we have a big release year for the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5 also being released at the same time. I think that if Amico is ahead of the curve with their 10/10/2020 release, and that is prior to the anticipated releases of those. Now, if they all get pushed back and Amico's still a couple months ahead, that could be good. But if you've got families that are budgeting for a new Xbox or a new PlayStation, that's a lot of money that's going to be going there, and there simply may not be enough money left over for that secondary system or second console like the Amico. And I think a lot of hardcore gamers will find the Amico to be friendly as a second system in the home. But again, if you're already spending hundreds of dollars on your primary console, are you going to have money left over for that Amico? So that's number 3. Is I'm afraid it'll kind of fall in the shadow of the big 3, and families just won't have the money left over for this system. Number 4, is the family market big enough? Now, I know we're the focus is hyper casual gamers, and this family and friend co-op. Okay, and that's great. And Tommy goes by the numbers and tells us there's 3 billion people who play casual games. But it's one thing to play casual games because you have a phone, and it's another thing to go and buy a $249 console to play casual games at home. Now me, I get it. I'm doing it, and I bought the Wii for the same reason. And we still play the Wii to this day. So I get it, but again, I'm curious if is that market still there? Because back when the Wii got real popular, cell phones, the smartphones were still kind of in there, in that stage before they had to become ubiquitous, or just everybody's got one now. And so I'm curious how that shakes out nowadays. Okay. And do I think it is, the way Tommy talks about it? Yes, I think the market's there, but until you start seeing the sales, that's going to be a tough one. It's one of those things where it's one of my concerns is going with E10 ratings and lower, and just this couch co-op style. Is that enough? Is that enough to sell the system and to sell as many units as they need to be viable? That's the question I got. Okay, and number 5, 5th concern or worry is that it just simply doesn't deliver. Okay, I listen to Tommy and I believe him. Okay, I believe him. I'm excited about the system. I believe in it. I see the gameplay, and I'm excited to have these games. I'm excited for the mission that Intellivision Entertainment has taken, kind of as their goal to provide, this kind of old school fun for the family in their living rooms, across the couch, and I'm excited for it. But the worry that I have is that, it'll come down to launch day. I'm going to get that Founders Edition, and I'm going to open it up and start playing, and that my reaction might be, oh, that there's going to be that letdown, or that, the fun is just going to, it'll be brief, it'll be awesome, like, oh, hey, this is super cool, I can play this game again in a new way, and then, maybe the fun just kind of subsides. So that's my worry, is that it just doesn't quite live up to the hype, and I hope it does. But that's my worry. That's the whole point of the video, is to share what I'm worried about. So those are the 5 things that I'm worried about for the Amico. And again, I'm a Founders Edition purchaser. I am really excited for it to come out. But these are the types of things that I do worry about for the console. And again, I've already bought into this. I really do want it to succeed. I want to see I want to see what this does in year 2, year 3. But a lot of these things, like if they don't hit the right market, if people don't understand what the system is supposed to do, who it's for, if developers don't come in and support it, major third-party developers, then there may not be a year 2 and 3, and that's what I'm worried about. I want this system to succeed. I want it to go long-term, but I feel like a lot of these pieces, they have to go right for that to happen. Okay, so what do you think? Am I off base? Are these concerns legitimate? Are there things that have already been addressed? You know, and I honestly think a lot of these, you know, time will tell. That's going to be the thing. Is a lot of these, they'll either be answered through you know, press releases over this summer as we're leading up to launch, or it'll be, you know, once it's in your hand on launch day, once we start seeing sales come in the fall, you know, that's really when we're gonna find out, you know, are these concerns justified, or were they just, you know, concerns that really had no foundation? So we'll see. Feel free to sound off in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys around next time.